Soul Leveling Episode 14, or Season 2, Episode 2. Absolutely disgusting. In the best possible way. These shows, when you have kind of like that douchebag, that bad boy who screwed over our characters or just made a bad decision. Usually the most amount of edge or intensity you'll get is they get killed. Sometimes even by the main character themselves, or if you're lucky, they fall off a cliff or get skewered, flattened like a pancake. Like the Elven King did himself in this episode. But imagine being Kim. High A rank, right? Left all these E ranks for dead. Only to not only get killed by said E rank, but being forced as his servant for eternity. As he not only kills you, he says arise. And you're now named Iron. And you're his mad dog who has to do his bidding. I have seen MCs make characters their bitches, but I have never seen a man kill a man, bring him back from the dead in the form of the Shadow, and say, "Call me daddy for life." Scene of the freaking week, if you ask me. Of course, if you want to support my work and see my full thoughts to these episodes, I do have a Patreon where we got those full live reactions if you want to see me break in real time over there exclusively. Amazing episode. In a world where like these webtoons like are kind of getting hit or miss adaptations, it's great to see now for 14 episodes straight Soul Leveling not falling into the trend of either mediocre or okay, but no, it's freaking flawless, fantastic. Apparently, I didn't know this until last week. There's like a Solo Leveling movie or something, and the first 2 episodes of season 2 were kind of like in the recap movie or whatever they ended up doing. So apparently some people have already seen the second episode before it dropped today, which congrats. Good for you. I had no idea that was a thing. So I had no idea what was going to happen. But yeah, this was great. It's so fantastic too because they leave the portal, right? And of course they're naturally like, okay, yeah, Kim came out. Like, of course he did. Like, if anyone's going to survive this, it's going to be the big boy. Oh shit, some of the low ranks. Wow, this is actually going to be better than we thought. And then the portal closes. The death stare between this man when he grabs Jinwoo's shoulder and saying, "Hey, we have questions." Reasonable reaction. Very reasonable reaction. And it's basically a dick off where we're trying to figure out who has the most big D energy. Turns out Jinwoo did because he's like, "Hey, yeah, I get that. You lost 6 people. I brought 2 of them back. I think it's up to you to say thank you first." Yeah, you're right, boss. Wild shit, man. There's no way, like, he has a quiet life after this. Like, they already pretty much knew that, like, he had awakened again. Like, this just confirms it. I have no idea where they're truly gonna go with, like, the outside of questing of this show with the political landscape. We already had a man who wanted to kill him. I don't think it's gonna work out for him if he tried. We have people who desperately know and want to know more about him, but like they're pretty damn sure he's way more than an E rank at this point, at least in terms of his strength. I mean, he did body a man with a single palm strike when he tried to jump him initially. Just so much interesting shit happening there. And what was very shocking was the fact that, like, immediately when I saw him fight, like, he summons his army of polar bears, just badass. I'm like, man, he needs to take some of these, like, elven fighters or something, or at least their leader, right? Because, like, we're at a point now where we have the edgy Pokemon master. After he defeats anyone, he can summon them as a slave for eternity in the form of their shadow. So, it was quite shocking when apparently he couldn't do it. Before the reveal that he couldn't grab him, because it looks like he did, right? Because he's like, hold up a second, and he's like looking at the dead body. It's like, oh, of course, he's gonna take him as a shadow. No doubt in my mind that he did. Apparently he was like a little upset afterwards. They're like, yeah, his mood just changed. I'm not really questioning that personally because I'm like, well, shit, man. Like, I would have to imagine using that much mana probably makes you mentally fatigued, if not physically fatigued on top. Yeah, you're probably not in a great mood. No, it's probably the piss poor mood was literally because he tried and he had no more attempts and he had to leave behind a powerful weapon. So yeah, I get that. I get the kind of piss poor attitude, so to speak. And the production was just immaculate. It was fantastic. Soul Leveling, it's very rare to see people say that Solo Leveling missed the mark on production. Like, of course, there's still going to be people who won't like it as much as other people. That's always going to happen. But universally, Solo Leveling is considered well animated, and it's because of episodes like these. This man is just a monster. And I love too, I guess I was just assuming he wouldn't summon the army with them all kind of just sitting there. I figured, like, similar to when Kim was about to attack, he, smashed the ground and had like a little snow wall to cover up what was about to happen. Now he's like, okay, guys, just sit back there with your cocoa. Daddy's got this. And just, it's so great because in a normal situation, if this wasn't Jinwoo, if this was any other characters, this would be a whole ass arc, probably. Like 6 episodes to get to potentially defeating the boss of the forest and opening up the gate and going home. And our boy did this shit within a few hours. I just love how angry Kim was as well when he realized that the people he left behind for dead, because he's like, hey, dead weight, if I take them, and then he's like, you stole from me. You hid all the supplies. That's why you did this. And I'm like, the man was mentally broken. We knew he needed to be put down Old Yeller style. I just wasn't expecting. I can't remember the last time I was in such disbelief in the best possible way that immediately after finishing the episode, I had to replay that scene. Because I did. Because I have seen plenty of characters who acted like they were better than the MC get killed by the MC, or they die because of their arrogance. But to not only do that, but to revive his punk ass in the form of a shadow, making him eternally bound to you as your mad dog Iron. And it's funny too, because initially after he says something like, hey, your name's Iron now. And you can tell he's a little like frustrated. Like there's a bit of resistance, a little pushback, but it's almost like he took a newspaper and just smacked him on the nose and said, down boy. The craziest thing about Jinwoo as an MC, he could be the craziest mass murderer known to man. He could kill someone and remove their body by just making them a shadow seemingly. I didn't think I could love Solo Leveling any more than I already do, but episode 14 proved that no, it can only climb higher. If they commit to keeping this a consistent anime release, like multiple seasons, like a season a year-ish, we could have the craziest weapon arsenal known to anime minds with his Shadow Army. You let me know your thoughts down below. What did you think of the disrespect that he did to this man's body? Because I figured he'd die. I just wasn't expecting that. Your thoughts down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new around here. Of course, ring that bell. And like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon. And hey, while you're over there, I'll just give you a video shout out. Alright, so today we got Waka866, Andy, Anime Fan 2019, Slayer Droid X, Joseph, and we also have Atilia Farkas. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and you'll have a good one.